Hi, my name is Levi and I'm the President of Engineering of StuyPulse. Today in this episode, I'll be going over the basics of pneumatics. The primary purpose of the pneumatic system is to actuate pistons. Pistons have two positions, fully out and fully in. There are two inputs. This input will fully extend and this input will fully retract. For the pneumatic system, you need a compressor to build up air in the system. Now, the piston has two inputs, so we need a device called a solenoid. The solenoid takes one input and has two outputs. That way we can take the air from the compressor into the solenoid and then into the pistons. So you run in code and you can switch the positions where the air is going out of. By default, it'll go out one output and into one input of the piston. Then you actuate it and it'll switch the outputs. To change the amount of pressure in your system, use a regulator. You can go from any amount of pressure up from 60 down to 10 to as little as you need. But remember, the maximum for FRC regulations is 60. Now there are a few safety mechanisms in a pneumatic system so that you don't blow anything up. You have the pressure relief valve, which after 120 psi will start releasing air so that you don't build up air in your system and explode. You have this sensor called the pressure switch, which tells your compressor to stop compressing when it's at a certain point. And when it's too low, it'll tell the compressor to turn back on to keep compressing air into your system. When you're using your system and when you want to work on it, you have to release the air. So you'd use something called a dump valve. The dump valve has a closed position and an open position. You can see it on the compressor over here. Here right now the air would flow out. Now the air cannot flow through here. To know how much pressure you have in your pneumatic system, you have things called gauges. And the gauges will tell you on a range from 0 to up to 140 or whatever gauge you buy, the amount of pressure in your system. To increase the air capacity in your system, you would use an air tank. More air tanks, more air that you can store in your system. And to connect all this, you use pneumatic tubing and fittings, which go inside the components. For the purpose of this video, I'll be compressing directly from a battery. At competition, it should be your robot controlling the compressor. So, turn it on. Right now, the air in this side system is 80 psi, and after the regulator, it's 60 psi. I can manually actuate the piston. And on your robot, it'll be your robot electronically actuating the piston. Now, when you are assembling your pneumatic system, you may encounter leaks, which is a huge detriment to your system. When you're building your pneumatic system, you may want to use bubbles to find these leaks. Just smear some bubbles on each brass component, each plastic component, and you'll start seeing bubbles form if there's a leak. If there's a leak, you may want to re-Teflon your parts or just screw in a bit more. If that doesn't fix it, I suggest throwing out the part because it may be faulty. Thanks for watching.